Now, when India's gig economy workers intensified protests against rapid delivery targets as unions called for a nationwide strike on December the 25th and again on New Year's Eve. Nearly 40,000 delivery partners across major cities joined demonstrations demanding a ban on 10-minute delivery models, better wages and social security. The strike, led by the Indian Federation of App-Based Transport Workers, affected deliveries in parts of Gurgaon and Delhi, while operations in Bengaluru remained largely unaffected. Workers from platforms including Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, Blinkit, Amazon and Flipkart participated. Unions say algorithm-driven systems force riders into speeding, long hours and unsafe conditions, while incomes continue to fall. Surveys show most delivery workers earn 200 to 600 rupees a day, work often 10 hours and lack health or accident insurance. Nearly 86% oppose instant delivery models, citing rising accidents and stress. The unions have urged government intervention, calling for regulation of platform companies, withdrawal of unsafe delivery targets and a national social security framework, warning that convenience is being prioritised over workers' lives. Joining us now is Chandan Kumar, the founding president and advisor for the Gig and Platform Services Workers Union. Thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. It's a pleasure talking to you. How has the rise of 10-minute delivery models affected the daily income and financial stability of gig workers across India?
Thank you for having me, and I'm so grateful that you're doing this show on this very important issue. Yes, I think it's a big moment when a large number of gig workers are organizing, coming on the street, uninstalling their apps, refusing to take the order, and so on. So I think it's a very brave and very welcome move by thousands of gig workers across the country. You have to understand the Indian society. I mean, we are so sort of rogue with the caste system, with the class system, and so on. And once you place an order and a gig worker is going to deliver your order to any gated society, you are not allowed to take a lift. You are not allowed to even go inside the premises because you are a gig workers and the society, gated societies, and so on. They don't allow you to come. So you go inside, then you have to follow the different protocols, which is very classist, which is very, I would say that, created in a manner where working poor, working class are not treated equally. And then you come on the street and you know the Indian roads, Indian traffic system, where you have immense chaos. There's no system at all. So you are actually expecting a gig workers to covering the whole cities, going to the society, which is already, excluding you with a structure. I mean, you tend to die. You tend to, face different kind of discrimination and chaos. So I think in my opinion, this is what we have been asking the government, that government should regulate these platform companies, that this is impossible. This is totally impractical ideas to do the delivery of in certain manner. I mean, what kind of income? There's no income at all. So even you deliver that, you're risking your life, you're risking your everything. So I think it's a very impractical and very inhuman idea. Yeah.
And Chandan, is there any evidence linking delivery targets to these increased road accidents, injuries and mental stress among these delivery partners?
A lot of evidences, there are a lot of reports now, even by the government and private institutions, etc. I mean, you just kind of, put on X about the delivery workers' death, and you will find hundreds of cases basically coming on that. From my own experience, I can say that from our own union experience, the many workers who have complained that somebody had broke the leg. I mean, one of our union member, she died basically in the city called Pune because she was going on to deliver something, and there was a big heavy truck ran over to her. So there are multiple cases of deaths, and I would call it as a murder. It's not only death; it's a murder when you are enabling a system where the platform companies are legitimately, violating all the norms basically. So these are very evident in every manner.
And what legal protections or social security measures currently exist for gig economy workers, and where are the gaps?
See, the thing is that on federal level, government is offering some kind of social security. But for me, I think this is not the demand of the gig workers. Gig workers are demanding for the employment regulations. For example, you can't, block their IDs without discussing with them. I mean, it's kind of arbitrary, kind of blocking the IDs, pushing you to work for 17, 18 hours. You have to be available on the app. A large number of questions what gig workers is demanding about algorithmic management, talking about employment relations. What government is offering a very charity-oriented social security, which is not the demand of the gig workers. On international level, the discussion is on. International labor organizations basically have discussed the standard settings this year in the month of June in Geneva. Now each government is discussing these norms. But if you see that largely on comprehensive level, there's no law, there's no policy for gig workers, and they're totally left on their own, and there's no regulation at all. So they are living in a kind of risk which you can't even expect that. And that's why this whole strike is that on the eve of New Year, there will be hundreds of people who will be ordering it, and the gig workers is refusing to receive those orders, refusing to take any orders, because this is how the gig workers have realized that until we don't hamper or don't hammer the business supply chain of these platform economies, we are not heard at all, because government is not listening. No, there's no policy, there's no law. So there's no other way to be heard, and that's why this whole strike is very, very important and significant.
And Chandan, Indian gig workers are going to go on strike again tomorrow, New Year's Eve, protesting the 10-minute delivery model. What more can you tell us about the movement, and how are major platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Blinkit, among others, responding to union demands?
So I genuinely feel that this is not the first time. I think this is the second time. Jipsu, the organization which I belong to, we called for a digital strike last year, and the many workers uninstalled their app. It was very, very successful. I mean, it's so difficult to say that how many workers will be joining, but roughly we can say over 100,000 workers will be joining from 20 cities across the country. So there will be impact. At this moment, the Swiggy, Blinkit, Zomato, all these big platform companies feel that these workers are not organized, they don't have any unity. Even the call for the strikes, it hardly impacts on our businesses on platform. But this is the kind of myth they are living in, and we are going to break this myth to platform companies tomorrow. So tomorrow's strike will be very, very successful because a large number of workers is joining, and all these apps, all these platforms, which you named it, and many more, was going to be severely affected in terms of money and in also terms of their credibility. Because when you place the order, and if you don't receive your order, then customers basically go totally panic. You know it. So I think it's a totally workers-led, but we are also expecting and hoping the customers, consumers, and so on, they will also join and extend solidarity to our movement and our strike.
Chandan Kumar, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to talk to you on